A Chicago man is held on $1,000 bond for allegedly playing a video game for more than 2 hours while his 2-year-old stepson suffered with a broken leg. 19-year-old Luis Matienzo is charged with misdemeanor child endangerment. He told police he knew the boy was hurt, but he played Grand Theft Auto for 2.5 hours while the child cried in his playpen. Matienzo told police he stopped playing the video game when it was time to pick up his wife and then sought medical attention for the child. It's not clear what caused the boy's injury. Chicago police say they now know the identity of a baby girl who was found alone in the entrance of an apartment building, but they're still looking for her mother. Thomas Freeman and his friend found the girl, who's about 1, wrapped in a purple blanket Friday night in the 8200 block of South Justine. There was a bag of clean diapers and a sippy cup next to her. Freeman says right before he found the baby, a woman asked to use his cell phone to alert police about the abandoned child. Then she ran off before he could respond. He says he thinks she was the mother. The girl, who's in good condition, is now in DCFS custody. Police are issuing a community alert in the Lincoln Park area after a man tried to lure 2 children into his car. A 13-year-old girl and a 10-year-old boy told police they were walking to school last Wednesday when a dark gray sedan pulled up next to them near the 1700 block of North Larrabee. The driver asked the children to come over to his car, but they ignored him and continued walking. The man eventually drove off. If you have any information, you're asked to call Area Central Detectives at the number on your screen. Chicago police are questioning someone in connection with the hit and run that killed a man in the West Town neighborhood. Witnesses say both Shane Stokowski and the person suspected in his death were in a bar together Saturday at 5 p.m. Stokowski reportedly tried to stop the suspect from driving drunk by reaching his arm into the car. The suspect drove off in a black SUV, dragging Stokowski down the street. Stokowski was later pronounced dead at the hospital. Police are looking for the person who drove their car into a construction hole in the city's South Loop. It happened around 2 this morning on 9th Street between Wabash and State. The car went through the construction zone, ignoring the signs, and got stuck in the hole. The driver ran away from the scene. Funeral services today for Chicago police officer David Harris. Harris was killed on his way home from work last week when his car was hit by a van being chased by police. The Calumet Park woman driving the van faces several felony charges, including possession of several pounds of marijuana. An immigration activist is back in Chicago nearly 7 years after she lived in a church in the city to avoid being deported. Elvira Arellano was welcomed back at Lincoln United Methodist Church for Mass Sunday. In 2006, she took refuge in another Chicago church with her 7-year-old son after she was convicted of using a fake Social Security number. She was deported to Mexico a year later. Now Arellano is back with her son and a new baby after she crossed the border with dozens of protesters. She plans to live in a church again until her immigration hearing in September.
Tenemos que ayudar para que todas esas familias puedan regresar a casa pronto.
And we have to support all those families because they all deserve to come back home to their children.
Y puedan cumplir con los sueños de sus hijos también.
So that they can also be a part of their children's dreams.
Arellano's son is now 15 and a U.S. citizen. Her new 5-month-old baby is not. They plan to stay at Adalberto United Methodist Church. 1 out of 5 drivers in Chicago is probably violating the city's ban on using handheld cell phones while driving. That's according to a new study. Officials say the purpose of the study is to figure out if a new state ban is working. The new ban, which went into effect January 1st, prohibits drivers from using handheld cell phones for any purpose while driving. Hands-free technology like Bluetooth headsets are still allowed. Chicago has had a similar ban on the books for 9 years. Still, the study finds the city has the state's highest rate of drivers openly talking on phones or texting. And as we head to a break, take a look at some of these dramatic photos of the CTA Blue Line train that jumped the platform at O'Hare this morning. We'll be right back.